Evening all. So today what we're going to show you is firstly just some general run and gun footage. Having a bit of a blast with shotguns, quite literally in fact lately, and I've also been gifted, and I'll probably show you in the next video, I was gifted a huge amount of skill points. I think it's part of this issue with passive boosters, blah blah. So I actually managed to get myself into prototype gear. Oh yeah. So but again, I'll show you that probably in the next video. This video is all about special effects, getting a bit better with Adobe After Effects. So I thought I'd inflict it all on you. But first, let's have some run and gun footage. Now, running with the Corp is doing stupendously well. I mean, you know, I think I've been talking to a few buddies who aren't in the Corp, and I think, you know, I don't want to poach anyone, but if you're in a Corp where you're not really doing anything, you know, there's no Corp battles, maybe nobody even speaks, then, you know, maybe just have a consideration to move Corp, because we're recruiting. I know that's shameless, please don't hate me for it, but I think it's quite sad when you've got people who are kind of like logging in and saying, oh well, you know, what are you guys doing? And you know, I think this week we've fought maybe 7 or 8 Corp battles, which pleased to say we've actually not lost every single one of them, which is an event. But when we've been talking to some of our bros, we found out that they don't even do Corp battles, and you know, they don't really even talk. So again, you know, a lot of Corps are slightly inactive lately, I think, just because maybe they've played for a long time, they're all bitter vets. But if they're, you know, if you find yourself in a Corp where you feel that there isn't a lot of activity, there's nothing wrong with moving Corp. If you agree with your CEO that you actually maybe want to just go and have a bit more activity with Corp battles and such like that, then you know, feel free. You can also join Corp battles even if you're not in the Corp. That's probably something we also found this week in terms of a big kind of step forward. We had a Corp battle as well with a Corp from Finland, Dark Star Mercs. They're our bros, they're our buddies. And they did really well. It was a really good fight. So I think just generally we're kind of finding the game you know, becoming a lot more fun. I think certainly when you look at what the what the kind of scope of the fights are going at the moment, you know, it's either kind of instant battle or the odd event is now popping up, I noticed. So, you know, whereas before we had in Hades 2, we now have a few more Corp battles like that. So just keep your eye on the Merc tab, and yeah, it's certainly getting more interested. Plus, if you fancy a Corp battle with us, you've obviously seen what we do in Corp battles in my previous video. If you haven't, go check it out. And yeah, we will basically throw lots of ISK at you, and we'll probably die a huge amount, and we'll spawn in dropships and go try and pole vault the MCC and stuff like that. Anyway, here we go. This is going to be some of the special effects. Are you ready for it? Get ready. It's cheesy as hell. I'm sure you're going to hate it, but again, this is, I think it's not, I don't want to just produce videos where I just blabber over it. I'd rather show you some content. So here we go. Enjoy. So there we go. What about that, eh? And it's all self-taught, by the way. I know a lot of people are doubting my capability with After Effects, but I think it's one of these things, you know. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I think, you know, there's some really awesome stuff out there, but I think it's always better just to give a little bit of added value. And I think After Effects is so easy to learn. It looks the most complicated thing in the world when you first see it, but all I've been doing is just looking on tutorials online and figured it all out. So I had my little Iron Man reticle display and stuff like that, and it's all incredibly simple to do once you just get comfortable with the tools. Anyway, there we go. We'll certainly show some more of that. I think this Corp battle's kind of, you know, well, Corp battle, this instant battle's going kind of well. As you can see, I'm just about to drop the bomb. I think one of the things, again, I'm still kind of really loving, I think, is the diversity of the play as well. I mean, we're having maps where, you know, sometimes we're doing tanks, as you can see here. I've just called in my tank. And we're doing other stuff like calling in dropships and calling in LAVs and just generally trying to kind of do more squad play. So we've started to do a bit more of a dropship focus. So we've got people actually using the dropship, I guess, like a dropship. So people actually would run out, capture points, kill people, then run back, revive people, obviously, then run back, get into the dropship, and would fly to the next point. So, you know, I think there's certainly something to be said about the squad play of this game. And again, I know I say it all the time, but don't play it solo. You're missing half the game if you play it solo. I think certainly some of the most enjoyable things we've done in the game have been as part of the squad, because I think really, you know, when you look at how certainly some of the prototype suits work, you know, the weird thing about them is you are probably better off using prototype suits because you're more survivable, you're more kind of able to survive. But if you get killed, you know, there's no penalty now. If you get revived, you don't lose suits, which is, I think, a really big step forward, because I think for many a time I was probably reporting that the mechanics of replacing and being revived meant that you lost a clone or you lost your suits, which meant that prototypes was just a pointless thing to use, because if you got killed, you lost your suit even if they revived you. Well, we did some testing and that's no longer the case. So it's actually worth now getting prototype suits and prototype gear, as long as you've got a good squad beside you. Yeah, you're going to still lose suits in the round if the whole squad gets annihilated, but the reward for playing as a squad now is extreme, because you could run a whole round killing huge amounts of people, dying a few times, and not losing, you know, suits when you're revived, which I think is probably a key thing. We'll do some more testing, because again, there's a few things in the game that really are not quite as by design, I would say. I mean, certainly the ability to team kill, which I will come to maybe in the next video, but I think certainly for today, hopefully that was of interest. And I think if you're interested in maybe some After Effects tutorials, or maybe you're just interested in how I'm doing them, then maybe just send me an email and I can, you know, just link you where I'm going to find this stuff. You can actually get your free copy of After Effects now. It's a very old version of it from Adobe, but you'd have to search for it. I couldn't find it myself, but apparently it's a very, very old version, but it's well worth looking for. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.